This is the HopCycle EB5 electric bike, and my first thought was simple. Big motor, big tires, big personality. I had a mix of excitement and worry before I rode it. Excited because it promises 1,000-watt peak rear hub motor and fat 20x4 tires that can roll over anything. Worried because the frame is high-carbon steel and the whole thing weighs about 76 pounds. So I wondered how it would handle, how it would stop, and whether the range claim of up to 60 miles would hold up in real life. From my experience, it delivers on power and comfort, with a few trade-offs you should know about if you're new to e-bikes. On looks, the EB5 leans industrial and tough. The matte black finish hides dirt and gives it a stealthy vibe. The down tube is chunky because it houses the removable battery, and the cables are routed externally, which isn't the cleanest aesthetic but makes service easier. The 20-inch rims are paired with 4-inch wide tires that change the whole stance of the bike. It sits tall and planted, more like a compact utility bike than a slim commuter. The cockpit feels familiar. A simple LCD display, a thumb control for assist levels, and a half-twist throttle on the right. The grips are firm, and the wide bars give good leverage over the fat front tire. The saddle is wide and padded, fine for shorter rides, though I felt the need for a suspension seat post on rough streets. The dual suspension setup, coil fork up front and a rear shock, works with the big tires to soak up broken pavement way better than a standard rigid frame. It's not plush like a high-end mountain bike, but it's solid and forgiving. Setting it up took patience, but no surprises. The bike comes mostly assembled. I mounted the front wheel, bars, and pedals, set the tire pressure at around 20 psi for mixed city riding, and charged the battery to full. Key features you should know. The motor offers throttle and pedal assist. There are 5 assist levels. The brakes are mechanical dual discs, and the max assisted speed is set to about 20 miles per hour out of the box. The battery is rated at 436.8 watt-hour, which is on the modest side for a heavy bike, but it keeps the cost reasonable and the pack is easy to remove with a key. Rolling out, I noticed the cadence sensor behavior right away. With pedal assist turned on, the motor kicks in after about half a crank turn. It's a quick surge rather than a gentle ramp, so I learned to be ready at low speeds. The throttle is the star. It responds instantly and makes city starts effortless. On a short climb, the torque felt strong and consistent, and the bike moved me up without drama. In my opinion, the tuning strikes a useful balance between responsiveness and control. It doesn't feel nervous, and the heavy wheels add some gyroscopic stability at speed, which I actually like in traffic. On hills, the EB5 shows what that 1,000-watt peak is for. I rode up a steep neighborhood grade using throttle only, and it held steady around single-digit speeds. Then picked up when I added a light pedal cadence. It feels like having a constant tailwind. The drivetrain uses a trigger shifter that's predictable. I try to ease off the pedals briefly when changing gears because shifting under motor load can clunk. It's a normal habit to learn on hub drive e-bikes with cadence sensors. Braking is where the weight reminds you it's a big machine. The mechanical discs have decent bite, but I needed a firmer squeeze on long descents, and I planned my stops a bit earlier than on a lighter bike. After bedding in the pads, the squeal mostly calmed down, though it can return when the rotors get dusty or wet. The fat tires hum on pavement at speed. It's a low thrum that becomes part of the ride sound, along with a soft electric whine from the motor when accelerating. Range depends on how you ride. HopCycle quotes up to 60 miles, which lines up with very gentle assist and steady flat terrain. From my experience, using throttle a lot or riding in higher assist levels pulls it closer to the 15 to 25 mile range, which is still fine for daily errands and commuting if you can charge at the destination. The display shows a bar-based battery meter that can dip under load and bounce back when you ease off. That's normal voltage sag, but it's good to know so you don't panic on a hill. Charging takes a few hours, and I got into the habit of topping off at night. I took the bike through a few different surfaces. In the city, the fat tires glide over cracked asphalt, trolley tracks, and potholes that would shake a skinny tire bike. Curb cuts are smooth. The upright position keeps visibility high. On a light dirt trail, dropping pressure to around 15 psi gave me excellent traction, and the bike tracked confidently through loose stuff. The suspension is not meant for big hits, so I eased off when I hit something square-edged at speed and heard it bottom once. Lesson learned. Comfort and control, not airtime. There are practical odds and ends. Lifting the EB5 onto a car rack is a workout. Stairs are not fun. The removable battery is great because I can lock the frame and just bring the pack in to charge. The headlight is bright but narrow, more of a spotlight than a flood. I added a wider beam handlebar light for dark side streets. The stock fenders handle splash, but they're plastic, so I checked the bolts after the first week and re-tightened the ones that settled. After about 100 miles, I gave the bike a full bolt check, adjusted the brake cable stretch, and re-tensioned the chain. That routine smoothing out phase is normal on new bikes. Fixing a rear flat is more involved than on a regular bike because of the motor cable and axle nuts. So I installed sealant in the tubes and haven't dealt with a puncture since. What I like most comes down to a few core things that make this e-bike fun and useful day to day. The motor torque takes the stress out of city riding. Stoplights, steep driveways, short hills, none of it feels like a chore. The 20x4 tires redefine comfort for a commuter. They're your suspension's best friend and they open up routes I usually avoid. The dual suspension isn't fancy, but it works, and having a preload dial on the fork helps tailor it to my weight. The removable battery with a keyed lock is practical and makes charging simple. And the frame's mounting points give real flexibility for racks and accessories. I also appreciate that it's built around standard bike parts, so upgrading brakes to hydraulic sets or changing the saddle later isn't a headache. Key features that stood out to me are the responsive throttle, the 5 assist levels that keep things simple for beginners, the sturdy steel frame that feels bulletproof under a heavy load, and a weight rating up to around 330 pounds that will reassure bigger riders or anyone hauling cargo. The value is strong considering the power on tap and the all-terrain capability. It's perfect for short to medium daily rides, grocery runs, campus hops, or mixed commutes where a bus or train is part of the journey. I'd recommend this for riders who want easy power, stability, and comfort over featherweight handling, and who don't mind basic upkeep like cable adjustments and bolt checks. It's not flawless. The heft is real, so carrying it upstairs isn't realistic. Mechanical brakes demand a bit more hand force and maintenance than hydraulic. The display gets washed out in bright midday sun at certain angles, and the range shrinks quickly if you live on the throttle. Those trade-offs feel fair at this price. In my opinion, the EB5 nails its purpose. A tough, torquey, fat tire e-bike that's simple to live with, confidence-inspiring on messy streets, and capable enough for weekend gravel and park paths. In conclusion, the HopCycle EB5 is the kind of e-bike that makes me choose two wheels more often. It's not about chasing the highest top speed. It's about making everyday rides easier, safer, and more comfortable. If you value traction, stability, and straightforward power, this checks the right boxes. If you need to carry it into a walk-up or want razor-sharp handling and featherweight feel, it's not the match. I'm keeping mine set to 20 miles per hour for legal and practical reasons, and I'm happy with the real-world range as long as I charge regularly. With a couple small upgrades, wider beam light, maybe hydraulic brakes later, it turns into a confident daily driver that's fun every time I twist the throttle. You can find detailed information about the HopCycle EB5 electric bike in the comments section. See you in the next video.